episode 77. This is Lego, and I've got with me Hove and our special guest this week, Resolute's own Monk. Thank you for joining us, Monk. How's it going?
It's going good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. How's your week been? How things been going?
Good. My week has been good. I just tweeted Hove like yesterday, basically being like,
no, this was months ago that I scheduled you.
It would be great to come on and make Lego as uncomfortable as he was last week. How do I get in on that? So he's like, oh, hey, you can do that tomorrow.
You're purposely doing this to me 2 weeks in a row, aren't you, Hove? You planned. You were like, oh, an opportunity to mess up Lego?
No, I didn't plan it, but Monk is absolutely right. He like said, oh, hey, I could definitely make Lego just as uncomfortable, and I was like, I am up for the challenge. Like, let's do it.
It's not a challenge for you though. You're like, oh yeah, let's.
No, I don't know. Like, I just noticed a little bit ago. I don't even remember what it was because I try to block out everything you say that isn't wholesome. But like,
what?
Just a couple minutes ago, I was like, Lego, who are you? What have you become? Because you are not the like Lego that just gets awkward whenever we say things. You kind of give me things that I'm kind of like, what did you just say to me, Lego?
I think I'm just learning, that, the more I'm around you, Hove, the more I can't trust you, and the more I have to just reflect like all the bad things that are put onto me. I just have to push them back on you, and just return.
Wait. Can we clarify that you can't trust me?
I mean, that became obvious from the time that I thought Mindy was a real person. So
I was the one saying she wasn't real the whole time. That's Triton.
No, you and Triton both had a full conversation, and I was there, and I was like, "What is this? I don't know any of this." And then it was like, "Oh yeah, Levi, that's not real." And I was like, "What?"
The whole time it was just go back to old episodes. Anyone who has been listening, it is me going, "This isn't real. Triton's a liar." Anyway, I'm done with you, Lego. You don't trust me. I'm off. I'm done. I'm starting. Everyone tune in to Dongcast episode 2. I'm out. Peace.
I feel like I don't want that to be a thing, but at the same time, I feel like Hove could do a monologue podcast on his own, and I would just be curious what it would sound like, like you
would stop listening 10 minutes in. I'm not saying everyone would, but you would.
No, okay. We might have to put it to the test.
Can it be under the REZOcast moniker?
I started thinking about this idea, and I was like, okay, and we could just throw it on the REZO, and I was like, no, I don't think we want to do that now.
I want to do that.
Well, Hove, how's your week been?
It's been all right. A little rough, been busy. I don't know, pretty standard. Nothing too crazy going on. Nothing real exciting in the Land of Destiny this week, in my opinion. But it was exciting.
I knew you were going to jump to this pretty quickly.
What?
It had a lot of people excited.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Is it? Well, let me hear it.
No, you're right. I just wanted to confuse you. I don't know. I know you and I talked about it. Monk, did you happen to catch last night Ninja's stream or hear about it?
I watched it unfolding on Twitter, but I've never been. I think I've been in Ninja's stream a couple times back when he was doing Halo stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not a fan of Fortnite, so I don't follow it. So I didn't get to actually see any of the stream except for the hilarious clips of it that people have been sharing after the fact.
Yeah,
the Band-Aids clip that everybody is.
Yeah,
it's pretty great.
The whole thing is just I don't know. It was amazing. You go from someone I saw a tweet oh, Ninja's doing duos with Drake, and I was like, oh, that in itself would have been super cool. That would have been really cool. And he was up to 350,000 viewers or something. And then I quit. I was playing games too, so I was just kind of jumping back and forth, just kind of checking out what was going on. And then all of a sudden I see Drake and Kim.com, and I was like, wow, that's an interesting combination, playing with Ninja. And then I quit paying attention again. I think I went to bed because I had to be up early this morning, but I didn't get as much sleep as I should have because I was paying attention to this nonsense. And then, all these people, Logic was tweeting, Drake called out Logic during the stream, and Logic tweeted back to him hey, Drizzy, you don't want none of this. And
oh my gosh.
So Logic was tweeting, Deadmau5 was tweeting about it, and then Juju Smith-Schuster, who I'm a big fan of anyway because he's a Pittsburgh Steeler, being from Pittsburgh, not Philadelphia, Lego. He was all about it. He was trying to get LeBron to go play with Drake and Ninja. That didn't happen, but he's tweeting them, and Juju's awesome because he's young, he's 21, like, but he still like is like a kid, and I mean that in, like, a good way. Like, he's just like fun and just wants to like go out and have a good time. So he's like tweeting like, let me jump in, I want to get in. So all of a sudden I look and it's Ninja, Drake, Travis Scott, the rapper, and Juju all playing squads. Like, how does that, like, where does that come from? Like, that's amazing to me. And like,
it is crazy.
Juju's tweets, like, his first tweet was all caps. It was like, Travis Scott just revived me in Fortnite. Like, he was like so excited.
Well, it got me wondering because I listened to some like, I don't know what you call them, like pop culture like podcast stuff too. That's all about like entertainment and whatnot. And I'm wondering when like video games are going to, like, they already are for us, you know, and for some people it's starting to be that way. Like Fortnite, I feel like is so public that it's really taking things to a new level of interaction between, you know, gamers and non-gamers. Like, people are like, I had one of my friends who did nothing to do with gaming tweet out the other day like, playing PUBG for the first time, what the heck, you know? And I was like, what, you playing? Like, I didn't even know you played video games. And she doesn't really, she's just like playing because that's like the big thing right now. Like, everybody's just trying out all these battle royale stuff. And so I wonder when we're going to bridge that gap between like where you have entertainment that's like TV and stuff, and then you've got entertainment because we already got Twitch, which is helping bridge that gap. And I feel like with certain games, we're like really getting close to pop culture, like including like games as a huge thing, as well as movies and TV. And, you know, for us, it does. I'm saying for all of society, they don't view gaming as like its own little section over here. Like, it becomes a part of like a bigger thing. I feel like we're like breaching that right now. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of like a Triton monologue I just went on. Like, he would be all about this and he would jump on board. If he were here right now, he'd be like, oh yeah, let's take this even further.
I mean, maybe if it was Triton, I wouldn't be agreeing as much, but I do agree with you. I think it was really big, you know, maybe not an overnight type of thing, but I think it was a really big and kind of important thing for like gaming culture as a whole. Just because, I mean, you see, like you said, Fortnite has really been the first game. I've never seen any game blow up like this across social media, celebrities, like everybody. And I know there's a lot of people, like, I just started playing it like 2 weeks ago and I still prefer PUBG, but like, I get the appeal. And it's just been like all over. And then, you know, 600 some thousand people, like Drake tweeted it out, and, you know, he has like 30 million followers on Twitter or something. Yeah, no, they didn't all go watch, but think about how many of those people that, you know, I'm sure some of them are gamers, Fortnite players, Drake fans, Ninja fans, whatever. But you got to think, there's probably at least a few thousand people just in that one couple hour period that didn't even know what Twitch was.
Yeah. Yes.
And now have this entire new like platform and that they've witnessed and that they can check out. And, you know, I don't know. It's just really cool. I'm really happy for Ninja too, because, you know, I don't obviously know him personally, but from everything I've ever seen and heard, you know, he's a really, like, he's a good dude. I know he takes part in the Guardian Con charity stream last year, and he's doing it again this year. So he's a friend of the Destiny community, and from all things I've heard, a pretty stand-up guy. So happy for him.
TV True Vanguard just tweeted out a little bit ago, like, really happy for Ninja. Like, I sat at a table with him at LA like last year or something like that, and it ended up like just like his confidence really like came off on True Vanguard as like this kid like has the confidence. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna go and make streaming a thing, like, or not that it wasn't a thing for him already, but like I have the confidence so that it's like going to be a big thing, you know. And then he's like here now, like streaming with Drake, and I was like, what, you know? And so yeah, I'm definitely with you.
The next step is we're having a Fortnite episode, specifically because I'm gonna get Juju on the podcast.
We'll see about that. But speaking of,
it's either Juju or Mia Khalifa. Take your pick.
Yeah, well, so Fortnite, I have been on kind of where Monk was. Like, it was like I hadn't really. I promise you guys, we're gonna get to some Destiny stuff later. We have a short twab, and we want to catch up with Monk.
Speak
too.
For yourself, Lego.
But I wanted to touch on Fortnite for a second because not just because of what Hope said. But gosh, you distracted me so bad.
I know, I'm trying so hard.
Last week we said something about the twab, and I can't refresh the twab. I don't remember. We said something that sounded funny. But Fortnite this week. I'm not a big Fortnite player either, like Monk was, and it just always, I don't know if it was like the gameplay, the jumping up and down and shot game. I don't know. It just like wasn't something that really appealed to me. But I started playing it every once in a while this week with Hove, as he's new to it too, and it's like kind of growing on me. Not to the point where I, like Hove said, I don't prefer it over PUBG. Like I still really like playing PUBG, really like playing Destiny, and Fortnite is just kind of like one of those, like, if there are other people playing, I would play that, but it's not something that I feel like is drawing me solo at all right now, whereas there's a lot of other games that do that. So that's kind of a bit of my week, was experimenting with that in the battle royale realm. But moving on, Monk, we haven't had you on in a while. I wanted to catch up with you on D2 gaming. I know you took a break for a little while, I saw on social media or something like that. And so just wanted to catch up with you. Where are you at with gaming right now? Where are you at with Destiny? How are you feeling about things?
Yeah, so I took a break like January to the first week in March, basically. But that was not because I didn't like the game. I love the game. I've missed it that whole 2-month period. I just started a new job in January, so like getting used to the new work culture and the hour-and-a-half long commute one direction.
If anyone's wondering, Monk is he's the head bouncer at the Thick House. That's his new job.
Yeah, the back entrance though, the VIP. Oh, you have to go in the back.
You guard the rear end.
yeah. So that's what I've been. That's what I was doing for that 2-month period. But I've been on PC D2 primarily, and that's like all I play anymore. I don't play anything else game wise at all. Like I in fact I have not even been on PS4 D2 since the PC release in October. It's just been all PC D2. And that's all I'm really playing. Like I'm still really, really enjoying it. I grind the heck out of PC D2 PvP.
So what's your favorite like thing with it? Do you feel like there's anything in PC that differentiates itself from console that you enjoy doing that you didn't as much on console, or anything that like draws you to PC in particular? I mean, obviously there's frames and stuff like that draw you, but any activity wise or the feeling of mouse and keyboard or anything like that?
Yeah, I started out as a PC gamer, and like Half-Life and Counter-Strike, and like, I mean, originally obviously like Wolfenstein 3D and Doom, and it's like I've been a PC first-person shooter player my entire life, like my whole gaming life.
You're just going back home.
Yeah. So I was super excited that it was coming out on PC anyway, and I cannot stand PvP on PS4. Like I just, for whatever reason, the feeling of it, I just can't do it. So it feels so much worse to me than D1 PvP did on console, but it feels awesome to me on PC. And I've got a pretty killer PC too. So
do you use, when you play on PC, do you like change your field of view and all that stuff? Yeah, play that. I feel like that alone makes you feel so much faster.
It's such a huge difference. Like, especially like it makes difference even in like the class that you play. Because like Hammer Titan and Dawnblade both feel so much better when you're in your super, and you've got like the larger field of view when you're in third person. It feels like you can see like everything around you. So yeah, I think it makes a huge difference, and just the frame rate in general makes everything feel smoother and faster.
Yeah, that's cool. How you feeling about the new update stuff? Because what are you laughing at?
How you feeling? That was so out of character for you. Also, real quick, since I got this, that was good. I didn't even mean to like butt in there, but this is gonna work. For anyone who isn't watching live, if you're listening to the audio version real quick, Lego is not in his usual habitat. He is at a hotel room. He's on the road for work. And I wanted to preface what I'm going to tell him now so that you guys understand. Lego, you might want to be careful. I noticed your lady friend escort in the corner there. She walked by. You might want to tell her to stay out.
Gosh, there is no person in the hotel room. Hove is
it's an escort.
Just giving me a hard time. But yes, this is like my third time.
I'm sure she's a nice lady though.
This is like my third time podcasting from a hotel room, and I hate doing it. Like I feel so uncomfortable. But hey, it's nice that technology is at the place where it is, and I've stayed at this place enough that I know that this is the one that has the Wi-Fi that will actually work. Because I stayed in this town like the other week and stayed at a hotel where if it would have been a night where the podcast was, this would not have worked. So I'm glad this worked out. Oh gosh, okay, Hove has thrown me off one more time, and I can't. I'm getting there. Okay, Monk. I'm Hove is trying to.
I'm so good at this,
but I am relentless. Okay, so we had all these changes that we found out about are coming last week. Changes coming to the sandbox that are coming at the end of this month, and we just found out about a ton of the weapon changes this last week, and so it's been even kind of shocking for us to digest all that because Hove had his special episode last week, and so we were a little distracted from all the news. But how do you feel about all the changes that they've announced coming out? Are you excited for that stuff? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. I think the movement speed change is going to be the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then as far like there's a pretty huge update, so it's hard to pinpoint like exactly what I like about it. The weapon changes are really exciting to me. I really am looking forward to 6v6 Iron Banner. I think that's going to be really cool. Having heavy ammo a lot more often is going to be really fun. I'm worried about it a little bit. I'm worried that it's going to end up being like all Acreus all the time, and we're going to be back to like the Fell Winners meta of D1. Especially like if they, I'm kind of hoping that for this next, I'm probably jumping way ahead in your schedule for your episode.
No,
we don't have a schedule.
I'm really hoping that the shotgun for Future War Cult this week, that like they're like, oh, we've got to make Future War Cult win one faction rally, so we're just going to make their shotgun like Acreus. So I'm kind of hoping that's what's going to happen, but then it's going to be really gross when that update hits. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited about it, but like I really enjoy PvP now, so I'm going to be excited about it. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
I could see some of your hesitation with power ammo, especially if you like the way D2 is right now. Then it's like you'd be worried about, what you mentioned, like there being a Fell Winters or something like that takes over whenever you enjoy the gameplay the way it is right now. I was just thinking about Acreus and how I feel like even if people did have a lot of ammo for it, but there's a lot of other power ammo going around too, it's going to balance out because it reminded me of a game I played with His Fury. We were playing doubles whenever doubles was going around during Crimson days, and we had a match where someone got the Acreus ammo, and we were one, like they had killed His Fury, and I was like, we were one kill ahead of them. So if they killed me with it, then we would have tied and had to go another round or whatever. But it was on the new Burning Shrine map, and I remember he was like running towards me, and I was just like, I know if I can keep my distance from him, Acreus can't do anything at any sort of longer range. So I just kept my distance and kept running until I ran out of the zone, and like it's killing me from being out of the zone, but I'm not close to him, and the timer ran down and we won the round. And it was like, if
so
you just
you're
gotta
a cheater.
Keep your distance,
You would have been banned from a tournament.
No way. I was using strategy. It was awesome. I loved it. We were hyped.
The thing I've started to do. Yes. They were high.
Wilson, you're in chat.
You were with Fury, so that's not surprising. But the thing I've started to do to like stay at range is I've been trying attunement of Sky Dawnblade, which is something that TV kind of turned me on to, because I was a big Warlock player in D1 and then really disliked it in D2 because of how slow it felt.
Yeah.
But watching him play it, like with transversive steps, you get so much faster. And then you can get really high if you do the burst glide and then just hang in the air for a while. And if you get like, you can usually kill someone before they even know like where you are, because they're looking for you at like eyesight height and not like up in the air.
Yes.
So you can usually like jump around a corner or wait for somebody to come around the corner at you and be up in the air and kill them before they even know you're there.
That's pretty awesome.
Which has been the power ammo killer for me.
Well, I think, with I had the same problem you did with Warlocks where they just felt like really clunky with their jump, especially like moving from D1 to D2 and even from the other classes, like playing the other classes jumps, I don't feel like as restricted. And Warlock, I feel like I actually slow down when I jump. And so like having this go fast update where glide's going to be faster and stuff, I'm curious how that's going to play out with everything. Cause I feel like I'm going to go with you where I'm going to want to change my attunement to the one that lets me dodge and stuff like that. Because I don't use the dodge one right now. I use the one that makes you drop and you recover some health whenever you drop. Because it's just fun to play that way. People don't expect it when you're up in the air and you're all of a sudden you're on the ground and can get a shot off. And right now in-air accuracy is so bad that I don't feel like I can really do anything when I'm in the air. But if they're upping the amount of times you can dodge and glide is faster and hand cannons are more accurate. It's all these things stacking on each other. It's like, whoa, being in the sky could be really fun. So I'm looking forward to that change other than just being disorienting, being really high, also being a little more accurate and a little more dodgy,
Yeah.
I don't know that it's that disorienting. I play with Wilson a lot and he's high all the time and he seems fine.
No, actually, no, so I do like getting really high in D2 because it allows you to like that disorienting effect can happen on a Titan too if you're using Lion Rampant that lets you stay in the air for a really long time. I heard somebody the other day be like, why does anybody use this exotic? It needs a buff. And I was like, oh my gosh, if they buffed it, I can't imagine how good it would feel because I feel like I can stay in the air for so long over a corner and just wait there until whoever runs by, like in their super, like they just can't figure out where I am. And I feel like it's the same thing with the Warlock that you're talking about. So, all these changes coming to movement speed. I just can't imagine how the game is even going to play after this, let alone the weapon changes too, because they're adjusting a little bit all the weapons, which, is something that I didn't really get to talk about last week, I don't think, but I kind of like, I know a lot of people are hoping for like major changes, but honestly, a lot of the primaries and energies feel pretty balanced. Like there's a few outliers, but there's nothing crazy. And so they're just reeling in the outliers. Like Uriel's Gift, obviously that shoots so freaking far and accurate. Like we don't want it to be competing with scout rifles, pulling down that range a little bit. And everything else, like pretty much the same because everything else is pretty balanced other than like, they're working around pulse rifles is the one that, no one can really figure out exactly how to use. But, I say no one. People
I
can.
still don't think balance necessarily has been the issue or unbalanced.
Well, it was in D1.
Like everything was balanced here and we need everything balanced like here. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what they're kind of doing. They kind of, I don't think they were so much, you said, small tweaks to reel in outliers, but it just seems like they gave everything some sort of like, they fixed something on everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just saying it didn't sound like there were things that were, with power ammo, there are things that are really crazy. But with all the base stuff, there wasn't anything that was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be the thing. And I'm kind of glad for that. Like, I'm sure there will be stuff that will be the thing, but it doesn't sound like, in D1, whenever they made a change, they were like, oh, you don't like this? Well, let's just completely, and it like completely changes the way it plays. And there's nothing that I really feel like is going to be like that. And I'm kind of happy about that.
Well, speaking of, completely changing the way you play, one of the things that I saw, I don't know if you noticed it, it was a few days ago still, but a lot of people talking about some of the changes, like still wanting to go back. And I don't know why anyone got this idea. But people are like, oh, I thought they were going back to primary special heavy, like changing the weapon. And I don't think anyone ever, like people have mentioned that, but they never said they were doing that. But that's besides the point. And everyone was talking about, having that. So we had special more often and, just the old weapon system versus the new weapon system. And it led me to the thought that, and I wanted to see if you guys kind of agreed with this. So, do you remember there was a time where, at least specifically for trials, a lot of people had called for just get rid of heavy? Remember? This was before any of the special ammo nerfs, when you still had special all the time.
Before they put in the option to like actually take it away in trials if you waived at the beginning and all that.
Yeah. And so at that point, you're talking primary and special and having enough ammo that you can use either one. Well, a lot of people have complained since then that, hey, when we said we wanted primaries to be better, we didn't mean we wanted two weak primaries. We wanted primaries to be stronger. And regardless of what our thoughts on that, but My thought, if power ammo becomes as readily and consistently available, whether through boxes more often or through picking up bricks from people who have died, doesn't it kind of almost become that D1 minus the heavy just with an extra primary? Because instead of having your D1 primary and your D1 special readily available and no heavy, now, yeah, you put rockets in there, but if they do this ammo right, where rockets aren't going to be the overwhelming choice because of ammo restraints, it's just 2 primaries and your sniper or shotgun or fusion.
I see what you're saying, and I think the difference is there's going to be like this who has the thing game, like it's like a cup game of who has the power ammo, and you're trying to like, whenever somebody picks it up, everybody's going for that person. Everybody's staying near that person. It's like when somebody got the shotgun or the sniper rifle back in Halo days, and you're like, that person has the shotgun, and as soon as you get them, you have the power ammo, you have the shotgun, the sniper, whatever it is. And so it becomes this like power play kind of game that's like flowing throughout the map. And I think we're going to see that play out in interesting ways. So I don't think it's going to be like we all have it all the time.
No, that's not quite just from a single player's point of view. If you're able to have both your primaries and be able to get that power fairly readily, consistently, like you get it a few times a game, it's not that much different.
Yeah, maybe it'll feel a little more like the end of D1 where you didn't start spawn with special, maybe it'll feel a little more like that. And that's not bad. Like, I'm for that, that I would rather have it to where I could have special at the beginning. Like, I feel like I have more fun that way, like in more mayhem type settings, but maybe, that could change later. Maybe that will be the new mayhem or something. I don't know. We'll see. But I definitely think that I like the path that we're going on, and I see the correlation you're making, and I'm excited for that, to have that feeling.
Yeah. Show.
I completely agree with that. I think that having the heavy come up more often, but having it be something that you actually have to contend for, is a way better system than we've ever had in the past. D1 or D2. It feels a lot more like, I'm a Halo fan, so obviously I'm going to bring that up, but it feels a lot more like Halo, where that heavy ammo is actually something that you have to go and contend for, and when it's going to come up, what it's going to be. I like that system a lot more than just spawning in with a bunch of shotgun or sniper ammo like we did in D1.
I really hope we don't get some sort of exotic that generates ammo, like Icebreaker, No Land Beyond, stuff that breaks them. Like, I like the new way of exotics they're thinking of, and it sounds like the exotic adjustments that they're making are going to be really good too. We've only heard from like 2 of them, and we don't even know what Skyburner's Oath, the changes they made. John Wisniewski's just tweeted about it a little bit, like, oh my gosh, the fights today were insane at the studio.
Well, I know they did tweet out, I think it was John as well, that he saw somebody get a triple kill from the Sunshot explosion.
Oh, yeah. That sounds so awesome. Yeah, see, stuff like that. It's like something making a bigger explosion, not necessarily breaking the... Like, we played around with that in D1. Yeah, it was cool to have No Land Beyond and stuff like that, but it kind of broke the game in a way that wasn't fun for a lot of people and made us had to bend a lot of rules to where, like, if you change the rules where you don't have special ammo, then everybody has No Land Beyond or Icebreaker. I don't know. It just didn't feel like it fit as well to me.
That's what she said.
Well, I can't leave it on that note. The only other thing from, I think, the patch that has been sitting with me that is like, okay, this feels like it's going to have a huge impact, was the more I think about the super energy being like significantly faster, like in both, that's going to happen in both PvE and PvP. It was like, what was the percentage change? It was like a minute and something faster. Like, it was like a good
supers.
Yeah, super.
Minute
40? Minute 20 or
minute
something.
20,
like
minute 40, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it is like significantly faster. And it's like, man, like that is going to change the way PvP plays. That's going to change the way PvE plays. I wonder what that adds up to about the average per match. Because right now, they've changed previously we've complained about not having our super up ever in, like, I think it was Clash or Control, one of those. And so instead they extended the length of the match so that you would get your super. They didn't really change the way supers work. They just changed the game type. Now they're changing the way supers work, and I'm just excited to play it and just see how it feels with all the new power and all the new super energy. It sounds really fun.
Yeah, Hove was right. It's 1:40.
Dang. Yeah, that's significantly faster. And the respawn times are significantly faster too.
Which, even though that's small, even that you're adding like a few more seconds of super.
That's right.
Yeah, every time.
Yeah. Good point. I think that's all I've got as far as like sitting on last week, and really thinking about it. Not Hove's part of last week, but everything else that we got from last week.
My part of last week was all of last week.
I definitely don't want to dwell on that though.
Well, that's fine. I mean, chat is already they're pretty taken up right now. They're busy talking about your escort friend that walked by.
I've created my own Mindy situation somehow.
Yes, I did. You're welcome.
Hey, one thing I will say before you move on from last week is I am all for the no radar.
Oh yeah,
and trials and competitive.
The other big thing. So I take it you're a fan of Spooky Trials, probably.
No, Spooky Trials sucked because you could just camp.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was nothing pushing you out.
No objective.
No objective. One hit stickies. Yeah, it was a lot of things.
But and one hit stickies, and the special being one hit kills all the time. Yeah, it was awful.
Do you think that they'll keep survival the same with? Because that's the one thing it doesn't happen.
So that's the one thing I'm nervous about is survival. That's like I think something might have to eventually change with survival.
What I think would happen, what I think will push people out with survival is power ammo. Like, because the power ammo spawns in the center, and that's kind of like the, hey, you have to come get this. What I'm concerned about is the people who get it first, get that first kill, and then they just dominate the power ammo the whole time, potentially. I don't know. We'll just have to see how it plays.
That heavy spawns even faster in trials, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, not faster than the other stuff, but it was like I
can't remember. They were all different, so I forget.
Yeah, they were all different, but I felt like Trials was the lowest percentage increase out of all of them.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it was less, which I was kind of sad about because that's my thing, but that's okay. Green before Team Hove. I like Papa Bear's expression last week. I'm all for that.
Yeah, but at least when Papa Bear does it, it's his thing, and he makes it known. You're like, oh, what do you mean? Yeah, I just was over here getting the thing. I didn't know you guys were gonna fight. My bad. Hold on.
I have some defensive things about my personality workout. It's true.
Oh yeah, yeah. Lego. So you're right. Power ammo respawn timers in survival have been reduced 40%, which is the biggest reduction except for Iron Banner. So yeah, so there's going to be a ton of power ammo in survival.
Well, my question after this whole, Monk pulling up the minute 40 and Monk pulling this up, are you looking to take over as host of a podcast possibly? Because we may have an opening. Lego has some things he needs to work on, he said.
It's true. There were more behavioral things.
I'm just kidding. We love Lego. I gave him such a hard time last week and I don't know.
He actually gave me a compliment before the show started, you guys. I was like...
Wait, I did?
Yes.
What week?
It was just before Monk got in here. You were like...
I don't remember that.
No, you're like, you do great. I don't remember what you said, but it was really cheesy.
Because it didn't happen.
No, it did happen. And you were like, and I was like, you giving me a compliment right now? He's like, yeah, I mean, why not? Like, it was really weird. I was like, who is this? Maybe we've swapped places before the podcast, and then we like swap back when it started. I don't know.
I compliment you all the time.
I'll let the podcast listeners be the judge of that.
I mean, not during the podcast. I don't want everyone to know.
Oh, okay. That's fair. Do you want to jump into the TWAB? We've got faction rally stuff. I mean, Monk already hinted at it a little bit, but we got some new guns coming, and I'm actually pretty excited about it. And I want to talk to you all about like the dilemma of will Future War Cult ever win a faction rally? Because I'm like, part of me is like, yes, I want them to win because I want this Future War Cult shotgun and Future War Cult sniper. Like, they have the stuff I'm most excited about. But at the same time, I know they're just trying to trick me into, you know, using them, but I want to like make a statement by not using them so that they can get their act together and get some different shaders and some new shaders because they need to rebrand. And I'm like, you know, it's like this, I want to vote with my heart, you know, and not with my eyes that just want the weapons. I don't know what I'm trying to say. You get what I'm saying.
I just want to say before we get into the TWAB that I guess we're spoiled with all the roadmap and updates and everything, but this TWAB just sucked compared to the last few. Like, I'm so
well.
I mean, that's why we were spoiled, but I was like, really? This is the whole
that's
TWAB?
why. There's so much information in the past 2 weeks, and this is still like, there's still stuff about this TWAB that I like, and we'll get to it because it's kind of like little hidden nuggets here and there.
Chicken nuggets?
I did have chicken nuggets this morning. The chicken minis from Chick-fil-A. Have you had those?
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
Of course I have.
Oh, they're so good. But okay, so the guns. Are y'all excited for any of these? I know added to the gun pool is the New Monarchy shotgun, the Future War Cult shotgun, the Dead Orbit SMG, and then weapons rewarded to whichever faction wins is a sniper for Future War Cult, grenade launcher for New Monarchy, and sniper for Dead Orbit. Which, I mean, the sniper for Dead Orbit is the one that nobody really liked from the beta. And the grenade launch for New Monarchy, nobody wants a grenade launcher, I feel like. So, of course, they're like trying to push us. Go for the sniper. Go for Future War Cult. You know, that's what I feel like. But any of these draw y'all's interest?
Yeah, I mean, potentially both of the New Monarchy ones do.
Oh, the grenade launcher too, really?
Or not the New Monarchy. What am I talking about?
Future War Cult. Yes.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. Yeah.
Both of the Future War Cult ones do. Yeah, no, definitely not New Monarchy. I have my play of the game that I'll never ever take out of my power slot. So, but yeah, like I said, I'm really hoping that shotgun is like disgusting.
Yeah, I hope it's not. I don't think it can be because they've had a couple of them already in the faction rallies, but the slug ones that only like I know Papa Bear likes the slug ones, but I'm just not very good with it. So I hope it's not one of those. I hope it's like Hawthorne's shotgun or something like that. That'd be awesome.
I hope, and it won't be, but I want an Omelon shotgun.
Omelon shotgun. That would be. I think. Is that what it's going to be, do you think? It looks kind of Soros-y, but I guess it could be.
Like Omelon with all the like liquid in them and like kind of like plasma-y sounding shots. And do you know what I mean?
Yeah, isn't all of New Monarchy stuff Omelon? Am I wrong? Is anything not?
I don't know. But that shotgun, I don't think Omelon makes shotguns. Like it's a real thing. I don't think they've put any Omelon shotguns in the game. Oh, they can't make them. That's not what they do. They're a real company.
Well, we'll see. I mean, it could be. I also, just personally, I kind of want to try out that Dead Orbit SMG just because I want to see what archetype it is. Like, I think probably it's going to be one of the 900 RPM energy slot ones, but I really hope it's not. I really hope it's something different, like a 600 RPM energy. That would be great. Why don't we have any of those?
I'd level 100 RPM.
That would not be an SMG.
It could be.
No, that would be an auto rifle.
You don't know that.
That would be weird though if there was a slow firing one. I don't know how I'd feel about that. Okay, so away from the weapons, they also talked about their goals for future season 3 faction rallies. They talked about so I'll just say what the goals were. So for next time, they're saying their goals are pledging to a faction should be a meaningful choice. Rewards should not be time-gated. Faction rallies should provide unique gameplay experience and not simply be a reward layer on top of existing game. The event should grant additional insight into faction lore and goals. It should build upon player interest in lost sectors and armor ornament objectives. And I thought that those were some pretty cool goals. It was not something I'd really thought about before with faction rallies or anything that I had hoped that faction rallies would be. But now that they've listed them, I'm like, yeah, I would love to have some more faction lore and like what that faction's about in there, because we kind of get the little blip at the beginning when you go and talk to them, but I would love to have more stuff that is what they're about to get people invested in them. And then also the building upon player interest in lost sectors. Like, I've never really thought about it that much, but Iron Banner is very much a PvP kind of event that happens. And so this is kind of like the PvE event, even though when I sign to a faction, I go play Crucible the whole time. Like, it is like they could make it even more of a PvE event and make specific PvE things to do. And I think that would be great. I would love for them to expand on the PvE side of the faction rally.
Well, I think it's cool too. Like you were saying, like you hadn't thought about a lot of this stuff, but I think when you look at it, like obviously they said they don't even know what the details are going to be and how they're going to accomplish them. But I think things that we have talked about on here all could be solutions to some of the, like, paths to some of these goals. Like simple things. Pledging to a faction should be a meaningful choice. We've talked about making it account based instead of character based, right? That's an easy way to do that, or a part of it.
That's true.
Rewards should not be time gated. I'm assuming they're talking about how you just get, like, the weapons just come up for the week and then they're gone or whatever.
Yeah.
We've been talking about, like, why don't the factions have, like, why aren't they vendors anymore, like, all the time to just go buy stuff? That would kind of do that.
That would be nice.
Faction rallies should provide a unique gameplay experience and not simply be a reward layer. Now, I know you were talking about expanding PvE, and I think that would be great because you're right, Iron Banner is kind of the PvP. But another thing that we've talked about and other people have talked about, and I want to say somebody from Bungie mentioned something about this just on Twitter, not an official thing, but like a 2v2v2 type of thing.
Yes, they did mention that one time.
So if you did if it match made you by, faction, and it was like 2 Dead Orbit versus 2 Monarchy versus 2 new Monarchy versus 2 Future War Call, something like that. Like, it's all things that have kind of been brought up that would go, towards not fixing, but achieving some of these goals.
That'd be awesome.
That's all I got.
Yeah, that should provide a unique gameplay experience and not simply be a reward layer thing. Is something that you can say about any of the events in the game right now. And I think that's what makes, like, the new Iron Banner so exciting, is that it's a completely unique gameplay experience that you can't get outside of Iron Banner. And everybody is super excited or at least everybody that I've talked to is super excited to play that.
I think that's one of the reasons, not only the Dawning, but Crimson Days was such a big hit, is because it offered something that was so different than anything else that we were playing in Destiny at the time.
Definitely.
Same with Mayhem, even though it was just its own thing. You know what I mean?
Dude, I ate that up too. Like, I played it so much when that was out.
I know you did, Lego.
It's what else would y'all want to see from the faction rally stuff? Is there anything else you can think of that you'd want to see after hearing their goals? Do you have any goals of your own that you would like to see? I personally like, Hove, what you said about, making pledging to a faction a meaningful choice, and about the one character thing, because I can't imagine having to choose with these weapons that just came out. It's like, okay, I want to try that Dead Orbit SMG and I want those shaders because I like them, or I want the ship, really is what I really want. But I also really want that sniper rifle, and it'd be like a dilemma to choose, and you'd have to, like, put everything together and then actually make a meaningful choice. And right now you're just like, I'll just pledge to everything.
I'd be totally happy if it was, these are the 3 weapons if they win. The winner's weapon is available, the other ones aren't. That's it. Like for anybody. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not the 1,000 Glimmer versus 50,000. If you didn't pledge to them, you don't get it. I know they won't do that, but I wouldn't mind it.
I don't know. It kind of sounds like they're wanting to do something like that, but you're right. Bungie is very, like,
that
they
flies
don't
so far in the face, so much in the face of everything that they've gone with. Like, everyone can get everything.
I know, but I really think that if they were to ever change their philosophy on some of these things, like, now might be the time. And I think we could see that happen potentially. Is stuff like, hey, it's okay for, like, with the Nightfall emblems, like, they're not exactly doing that, but it's like, if you don't hit these goals, you don't have a chance at getting it. And while, you still have a 10% chance if you get a pretty decently low score, like, it doesn't have to be that high to have a chance at getting it. And you have a really high chance if you get a really high score. Like, I think, they're getting closer to those things, or they're talking about what they're going to change with prestige mode raid stuff and having exclusive stuff for that. Like, I feel like they know that we want exclusive type stuff. Like I remember in Trials grinding for that freaking Scarab emblem. Like that took forever, but it was so fun to go after that thing that you had to be going flawless to get. Like that was difficult and exclusive, and I think that the community really liked things like that. That was something that drove us to play the game.
I'm with you. I don't know. I don't know if I don't see it.
Yeah. I guess we'll see. Fingers crossed. Speaking of the Nightfall that I was just talking about, they also mentioned the Nightfall and the scoring and the way people are cheesing the lost sectors and how they have a fix for that coming, just not in this. You know, they don't have it right now. So for what I thought was interesting about them saying all of this is that they're kind of like promoting it as an activity in itself. Even though these people are cheesing it, they're like, hey, go have fun, and whoever gets the highest score, even though it's ridiculous and you're doing these like crazy cheesing things to get there, will still put your high score up here. And it reminded me of that statement that they made a couple of twabs back, they made a statement that was like, you know, we're embracing the things that people find in this game that are kind of crazy and may not have been what we intended, but we're kind of just making it a thing. And even though, yeah, it's kind of ridiculous, they've heard the feedback, they need to close off the lost sectors, they're going to do that. For now, they're just like, well, let's just have fun with it. And, you know, here's the high scores. If you can beat it, you know, even cheesing it, we'll put the high score up. And I thought that was kind of cool. I just wanted to throw that comment out there. Yeah. It just seems like they're sticking with that philosophy.
Yeah, I'm down. Works for me.
Last thing with the TWAB, new roadmap coming tomorrow, which I didn't really see that coming.
No, why tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't know. It is weird that it's tomorrow. But yeah, so new roadmap coming tomorrow, and they also said the Sandbox team will be looking. You know, they've heard some of the Twitter complaints about in-air accuracy. And that, you know, while consoles are getting that hand cannon patch with the new update, with some more aim assist and stuff like that, they're going to be basically the Sandbox team is going to be watching what people say about in-air accuracy once the new patch drops at the end of the month, and they're going to be watching it intently to make sure everything, you know, if it's still a problem, basically. And it was just nice for me, like personally, I felt very frustrated recently whenever I try to shoot in the air in Destiny 2. And so it's cool that they're just, you know, continually listening to feedback. It doesn't just fly by them, and they're continuing to be in every TWAB, even though this was not as much information as before. They're continuing to be super open and super like, hey, we hear you, we hear this, we see this. And that is just really appreciated on my end. For like, hey, we're listening, when before in D1 we would go months without hearing anything. And I feel like it's like a new open transparent Bungie, and I just really appreciate all those things.
Yeah, and I think it's a good time. I mean, it would have been a good time at any time to look at in-air accuracy, because I like it, but I think it's a really important time because, you know, you're going to do this whole Go Fast update. Mm-hmm. And again, I can't speak to how it's actually going to play with everything, you know, all in one change, all these changes put together. But if you're thinking you have faster jumps, you're going to be moving faster, you think you're going to be jumping around faster, you're going to be all over the place, like having the in-air accuracy as bad as it is kind of would, to a point, negate some of that, you know? Not mm-hmm. completely. I'm not saying it would ruin it, but it would. You know, what's the point of having these faster jumps and everything if you can't use those movement abilities to their fullest?
Yeah, I feel ya. Yeah, for sure. Especially, it kind of goes back to what I was saying to Monk earlier about the Warlock dodging, how they're increasing how frequently you can do that on that one sub tree. And it's like, well, what's the point of being in the air longer, you know, or doing more dodges if you can't, you know, shoot people while you're doing it? And particularly for the tree that I already run, or if you're using that exotic that lets you like stay in the air longer with the Warlock when you aim down sights. Like, it's like, I like using that, especially for the drop down stuff, but I can't hit anything.
Even though I disagree a lot, like very strongly with their take on why they got rid of in-air accuracy in general, I get their thinking, even though I disagree. But for something like that, that kind of defeats the purpose of having that exotic or that perk. Like, why are you going to hang in the air longer? Like, what are you going to do up there? Aiming lets you stay up there, but you can't hit anything. What's the point? Why would I use that?
And this is like, hearing that is weird to me as a PC player, because like I actually use that exotic quite a bit for fun, because in-air accuracy on PC with a keyboard and mouse is not nearly as bad as it looks like it is from watching people play console. It's still not great. Like you miss shots that are that you clearly should have hit, but it's not like garbage like it is on console where you can't hit anything. But I would like to see it removed completely.
Yeah.
I agree with you guys completely. Just get rid of it.
Even if it's, like you said, because I haven't used it on PC much, even if it is better, to me, it should be exactly the same as standing on the ground. That seems to be the gist of it. Like, you get to shoot from the air instead of on the ground. It's a new element. So why am I getting penalized for it?
Yeah, like you're this incredible like space magic guardian who saved the galaxy, and then as soon as you get your both of your feet off the ground, suddenly you can't hit the broadside of a barn. Like it just doesn't make any sense.
And it just, I mean, and above all else, it would be awesome to see some TV Sky Sniper clips again of him, especially if he used the one that let you stay in the air and then did a dodge and aimed again and like took it, like that would be crazy.
Yeah.
Or like go up in the air, you hold still, you take the shot, you get shot a little bit while you're taking that guy out, use the dive down thing, heal yourself, and then take another shot from the ground, because the dive down thing actually makes you recover. That would be.
You're thinking too much.
No, I'm imagining how cool the clips could be.
Yeah. From having played a bunch of it in the last couple of weeks, like you can do some really cool stuff with it. I've pulled off a snipe from the air with using Dawnblade.
Nice.
Like routinely will like get up in the air and then dodge around a corner to like keep up with somebody running away and clip them for the last shot from the air. Like done that a ton.
That's cool.
So it's really cool. Like I think with movement speed and with in-air accuracy, hopefully getting better. Like I think Lego's right. You're going to see a ton of really, really cool clips from that.
You just saying that just made me think, I wonder if the way the movement speed is increased might have been the reason why they increased the dodge like cooldown, or decreased the dodge cooldown so you could do it faster with the Warlock in the air, because if the speed of the dodge stays the same, you might need to be able to do it more frequently to like keep up with people's faster movements. I don't know. Maybe that is because at first I was like, increasing that dodge, that's like giving them Twilight Garrison basically, and it's like, oh, well, maybe people are running faster. The dodge speed probably hasn't changed. So it kind of makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, I know I got to like grill Monk at the beginning of this and ask him a bunch of questions about gaming. Hove, do you have any questions to ask Monk? Does anybody from the Twitch chat can feel free to ask questions as well? I just wanted to see, I typically hog all that time at the beginning. So Hove,
that's your job.
I know.
You have one job. You have one job on this podcast.
Sure.
No,
sure.
I'm just curious, as you were talking about all the Dawnblade and stuff, what in the last few weeks since you've been back, what class and subclass have you been playing the most? Has it been Warlock, Dawnblade?
Yeah, that and Hammer Titan is still like my first love for D2, but yeah, that and Dawnblade for the most part.
I think my goals for getting back into D2 are going to be not back into D2, but back with the new patch, like post-patch goals, getting really good at Arcstrider, because I feel like it's going to be really fun.
Yeah.
And just because I just played around with it, I said on the podcast the other week, like I just played with Fatebringer, and we both like didn't die the entire match, got 21 and 25 kills, and I was playing with the Arcblade, and it was like, what? Like neutral game so good, I can't imagine how good it's going to be. So that, and I feel like I need to play Sentinel. I never play Sentinel, and I was super excited when I saw Destiny 2 coming out and all the stuff for it. And I was like, oh, casting a shield's going to be great and everything. And I just never play it. I don't know what it is about it. I think, True Vanguard has it down where there's like certain combos you can do with the shield, and I don't have it down at all. And I feel like that turned me off to it because I didn't understand it. But now that I know, like, okay, it's combos and you just have to get good at doing these certain things, I think I just need to take some time, sit down and learn it. So that's kind of my goal for like my next Destiny phase, is like getting good at Sentinel. I want to be Captain America, you know?
Yeah, I do want to try to get better with Dawnblade, mostly because I like, right now I feel like I hate Hunter in D2, and I kind of liked it in D1, but I cannot get the hang of it. But I tried, I tried it with Lucky Raspberry this week. Just like played a few games like that, and I had one of those times where like you throw an arc bolt grenade and it gives it right back to you, and then you throw it again and it gives it right back to you again.
Yeah.
So
my God,
like just like threw 3 in quick succession and killed 2 people that way. Like no shots fired at all, just pure grenades, and it felt so freaking cool. So I feel like once the movement speed is adjusted, once like things feel a little bit better, and you can get some mods in there where you're regenerating passively regenerating the grenade faster, then like you could have that happen a lot more often, and that would probably be pretty disgusting and salt inducing and a lot of fun. So I definitely want to try that.
Yes.
Now, I do have a question that Lego just made me think of. Even though Mana and Triton aren't here to probably defend themselves, as Lego said he would like to be Captain America, my question for you, Monk, is out of the 4 hosts here, even though, like I said, 2 aren't here, what Avengers would we be if we were Avengers? Now, keep in mind, when I'm saying Avengers in this day and age, any of the main characters from Infinity War. So Guardians, Avengers, Doctor Strange, Universe.
Okay. Mana would be Ant-Man.
Oh, yes.
Just he gives me that like I can't go back to prison vibe.
You know what the best part is? I don't think Mana listens to this if he's not here, so he doesn't know that.
I'm clipping this just to share with him, actually.
Gosh, Triton. Triton comes off as like the Vision to me, I guess.
Oh, that's good.
Because he's not human. He like doesn't understand human ways.
He starts talking and you're just like, nobody knows what you're talking about.
I can see him in Civil War whenever he's like, I have a theory, and lays out like the reason why they should shine the Accord. Like that's Triton.
Yeah. Hove. Thor, maybe?
I'll take Thor. Fuck yeah, I'll take Thor.
See, my first thought was Robert Downey Jr.
That's my top 2 choices. You guys are both right.
It's a toss up between those 2.
It is. Because Thor is the guy who's like
way better than I thought it was going to.
I feel like if you were going to look at the event, like the Avenger, you would most likely find like chugging their 8th beer in a topless bar. It would be Thor, which is why I feel
Or just that part. I'm not going with the rest of it. Star-Lord.
Yeah, a little bit maybe.
Yeah.
Those are like the 3 best ones. This is the best question ever asked. Great job, Monk. You are welcome back anytime.
Oh my god.
Lego, the obvious choice for Lego is Captain America. Or a little bit of Bruce Banner. Not the Hulk, but Bruce Banner.
Oh yeah. I see that. That's good. Bruce
I'm good with that. This was great.
That was a great question. I really enjoyed that, particularly the Ant-Man and Mana never wanting to go back to prison.
I'm liking being some combination of the 3 best looking, most popular Avengers. Like that's great. Maybe not most popular, but actually maybe not even best looking. Captain America's pretty good looking too, but
Iron Man is pretty much the most popular, right? Like he has to be.
Oh yeah.
Like, they've made 3 movies that are just him. So
and he pretty much was in Spider-Man just to make it bigger.
Yeah. That's true.
God, This is awesome.
So are we gonna start what was the podcast? The Marvel, like us talking Marvel. What was that? You had an abbreviation for it, Hove.
Oh, we just were the THWAM, This Week at Marvel.
Yeah, This Week at
Or the
Bungie. Are we gonna
twom.
start that now? You want to transition into that
Yeah,
podcast at this point because
yeah,
there's
yeah,
there's a new Marvel trailer dropping
Tomorrow.
tomorrow. I know.
Mhm.
So is that going to be like? Because they've already shown, we've already seen trailers. Is this just like the big one before the movie hits, or like what?
Well,
why is this one so big?
From what I'm hearing, there was still stuff that at Comic-Con way back, I guess, way back, that it was very, very like grainy, unfinished, terrible CGI footage that didn't make the last trailer. So it'll probably be some of that, but it's gonna be the big one because what they're probably gonna do, I would assume tomorrow also, tickets will go on sale. So it's kind of, as much as people like us that we know when the movie's coming out, we're gonna go see it anyway. Not everybody's like that. So these are an advertisement as much as anything else for normal people. So it's like, hey, tickets on sale now. Now here's our next big trailer. So that's gonna be the big thing.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I get that. And I just wanted to point out in chat that Kami Guru says that I'm more like I should be Baby Groot because he's so innocent. I could go with Baby Groot. I'll take Baby Groot.
Ooh. I could be Rocket too. I'm good with that too.
I think Rocket fits your personality probably better than any of the ones we mentioned.
No, I'm down. I am a combination of Bradley Cooper, Chris Hemsworth, Robert Downey Jr., and Chris Pratt.
Oh my god!
I definitely, I definitely wasn't picturing the actor. I was just picturing the raccoon. But
whatever.
Whatever.
I'm down with whatever. I also think it might be a little bit more, as Bagu pointed out in chat. He just said a little bit more backstory, but I think it could be more Thanos centric too.
Oh yeah, because they haven't developed him really at all in any other movies. It's just like, oh, here's Thanos, and we don't know like what's going on. I mean, those who know the comics know him, but
they changed his backstory for the MCU.
Oh yeah, of course. Like I'm sure they would, but I'm sure a lot of his backstory is still intact. You would think. No.
Well, in the comics, he was the last of his race,
guys.
Titans. Yeah, this is from the comics.
Yeah.
And he killed his entire race, his kids, his parents, his family, his entire race.
Right.
For the MCU, and this is out there. This is like backstory.
Because this happens in Guardians 1. You learn a little bit of Thanos' backstory, I guess, from Guardians 1, I think. With Gamora and everything.
But they're not really his kids. Not like they just he steals them. But anyway, I believe what they have said now is they're trying to make him more of a sympathetic villain. He's the last of his race, but it was something like they were all wiped out and he couldn't stop it. And so now he's like trying to balance the universe not to fix that to get them back, but just because he's pissed, as opposed to just because he was nuts in the comics.
Yeah. Okay. He's probably still going to be nuts, but yeah, a little bit more reason why.
Yeah, at least he has a reason.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you have to agree with it.
And if anybody does a good job with that, it's the guys, who directed Civil War. I feel like they're so good. Like, I feel like Civil War itself had such good motives behind all the different characters. Not as good as, like, Black Panther is probably the best as far as motives go. But, I mean, Civil War is really good. And so I'm excited to see where they take Infinity War. So that's been our recent review on what's going on in our Thwom. Is that what it was?
Thwom. I got Pope Bear stuck in my head, apparently. I'm calling it a thwob, a thwom. That's twom.
Maybe we should make that a weekly thing. I think it's deserving.
Yeah. You know what else is a weekly thing?
Nope, it's not.
1, it's been asked for in chat. 2, you told me I could do 1 Mad Lib at the end of every episode. 3,
I never said that.
I already DM'd it to you. I already DM'd it to you.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll do 1.
Yes. You definitely told me we could do 1.
But you are reading it.
No, it's your turn.
Nope, that's the rule. If we're going to do it, you're reading it.
No, because then I don't get to give any answers, and yours are all going to be like...
No, you do get to give
yours are going to be like, none.
No, that's how it works. Oh, did you forget how it works? We all put in the answers. You just have to read it. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, all right. That's very good, son.
My gosh.
I'll just start it then, since I'm reading.
Yeah.
It's called Trip to the Zoo. We're going to start with Monk. First name of a person.
Triton.
It's not your turn, Lego.
I know.
No, that's actually good. We'll go with Triton.
Okay. Bagu in chat wants Lego's lady friend to read it.
Oh my gosh.
Verb, past tense.
Oh gosh. Ran.
This can be so lame. Adjective for me, fugly. Adjective for Monk.
Moist.
Ooh,
Oh,
I like
gosh.
where your head's at. Verb, present, ending in ing. Lego.
Oh, come on.
Softening.
We still have work to do with you. Verb, present, end in ing. There's 4 more of these. Verb, present, end in ing. Oh, that's me.
That's you.
Softening. Stiffening. Monk, verb, present, end in ing.
Stroking.
God, this is so
Wow.
good. Verb, present, end in ing, Lego.
Drinking.
All right. We're getting there. Verb, present, end in ing. Fondling.
Here's where it gets real.
Yes, it's about to. Monk, part of body.
You can't go obvious on that.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. God, you can't go obvious on that because it's just going to be dumb.
It's
How
like
about-
writing a song.
Right, yeah. How about taint?
Ooh. Lego, adjective. Pretty.
No. Stinky?
All right.
Yeah.
Animal, plural.
I don't like where this is going.
It's a zoo, Lego. Animal, plural.
I still don't like it.
Meerkats. Monk, animal, plural.
Beavers.
My man. Lego, adjective. We're almost done.
Crunchy.
That could get... Okay. Part of body. Navel. And an adjective from each of you.
Metallic. Is that? Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Do we have sticky yet?
We have stinky, but not sticky.
Sticky.
Things are getting stinky and sticky out here.
Yes.
All right, here we go. A trip to the zoo. Last Friday, I went to the zoo with my friend Triton. We both ran the polar bear the best. It was so fugly and moist. It was softening a beach ball in the air and stiffening it while floating on its back in the water. We also enjoyed the meerkats. There was a group of them stroking. They were drinking each other and fondling. They have the biggest taints for such a stinky face. The meerkats and beavers were being crunchy. They were all laying down. Sometimes you'd see a tail twitch or a navel move, but that was as exciting as they got. I had fun at the zoo. I plan on going again. We ended the day with a metallic ice cream cone. Perfect ending for a sticky day. All right. I mean, there was some meerkat stroking. I'm down.
Some naval movement.
Also, Kami would like to know if we were at the Thick Zoo. The answer is yes.
Wilson. All right. Well, this has been REZOcast episode 77. Thank you, Monk, for joining us down this new path we've made for ourselves.
You're welcome. For the path, I mean.
I'm
a pioneer. I'm a pioneer, Lego.
This has been Lego Le Flash. You can find me at Lego LE Flash on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Hove, where can they find you?
Twitter and Twitch, Hove76, HOV76. That's me. Monk?
Twitter, REZOMONK, where you can see me occasionally tweet once every couple of weeks or less about thrilling things like the Cheesecake Factory menu.
Yes,
Ooh.
good, because
Oh.
I went to the Cheesecake Factory for lunch yesterday just because of your tweet. Thank you.
Yeah, see?
Oh, very nice. Well, you can also find Team Resolute at teamresolute.com or at Team Resolute on Twitter. Find REZOcast at REZOcast on Twitter, and we'd love it if on whatever podcast app you're using to listen to this podcast, if you would leave us a review, preferably not about the thing we just did, but potentially Hove would enjoy it.
Yep.
If you mentioned his episode last week, you get like bonus points in his book. So feel free to do that or not. Maybe those aren't the keywords we want in our review. We'll see. But yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. Am I forgetting anything?
Yes.
Well, yes, I am. We're sponsored by Blue Microphones and Headphones, and thank you guys for sponsoring us. And
we got some awesome stuff. We're going to be giving away more stuff in the near future.
Yes, we just did a giveaway last week for our live listeners, but we've got a giveaway coming up soon for our podcast listeners, and we're very excited about that. And you should be too, because it's gonna be awesome. You can get a pair of Lola headphones or a microphone coming up. So super excited! It's coming up soon, and I think that's it. Until next time, guys. GG.
Bye.
GG.